Hey, we are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lab Doctors podcast. So this week we're going to be talking about
Stuttering and how singing helps.
Oh, okay,
Or
cool.
where the singing helps. I just gave you the answer.
I think it does, right? Have you all watched the King's Speech?
No.
Yes, but
King's Speech. K-I-N-G.
The
Yeah.
King's Speech, yeah.
it's about King George.
Yeah, King George.
And how he got through his
Stuttering.
Serious?
Yeah.
A lot of
Ooh.
swearing.
Yeah.
It wasn't in The Crown when I watched that
Yeah,
part.
yeah, because like he's dead.
Yeah.
It was there in the first
That's
episode
how
of...
the crown. That's why
Crown
the
got
events
passed.
of the crown happened because he died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
So what he sang to help it?
No, like he had a vocal coach.
and then he just
Cool.
did like almost everything, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure he sang, but like the most obvious one I remember is the swearing.
The one that I remember is he play loud music. in
Oh
his
yes,
ears,
and
so
like
he can't-
scream,
Yeah.
like so he can't hear himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, but
cool. Yeah, I think they're quite relevant.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I chose this topic because last week Zhao Yong talked about how music can help in...
Soothing the savage breath
Simplify that.
with anxiety.
Yeah, just benefits of music lah. And also this topic came to my mind because I came across this video of someone called Amanda Mamana, I hope I pronounced her name correctly, in 2022 where she participated in America's Got Talent.
Ooh.
And so like when she was introducing herself, she was stuttering a lot. She can't speak fluently, but then she said singing helps her. And then when she sang, it was like, whew, there was like no stopping, no stuttering at all.
Right.
Like, so this idea of how singing could help with stuttering is made known to the public more because of American Idol also in 2013 where this guy called Lazaro Arbos also had the same issue.
Oh.
Yeah, and some of the research articles I saw, they are like quite old, like 1970s, 1980s. Yeah. So basically for Amanda, she introduced herself to have speech impediment. So speech impediment is a broad term for a type of speech disorder where one can't speak or speak normally. There are several types such as stuttering, which could be due to a developmental delay such that the brain isn't coordinating the functions that drive speech. It could be problems with articulation such as trouble placing the tongue in the right position, being tongue-tied, which is a physical condition where it's difficult to move the tongue, apraxia, which is where the brain cannot coordinate the muscles that allow speech, or dysarthria, which is slurring of the words because of brain damage. But today, let's go into stuttering. So stuttering is a largely developmental condition that affects the fluency of speech. It's characterized by repetition of words or parts of words, as well as prolongations of speech sounds, resulting in disruptions in the normal flow of speech. This condition most often occur in young children where they are still developing their speech and language skills. However, stuttering can persist into adulthood and about 1% of adults continue to be affected by this condition.
do you all stutter?
Do I stutter? I mean, if you talk about nervousness presentation, then yes,
Yeah.
but
I think it happens to a lot of people actually, like the nervous stutter or the overexcited stutter.
any theories on how does singing help?
Is it a different part of the brain or like it activates different parts of the brain?
Yes.
Because like singing is different from talking. Like music has like the pattern recognition part and the like sequential things.
Quite spot on.
Okay.
Are you couldn't say anything?
No.
Yes. So the first explanation is the right brain, left brain theory. Basically, when you speak, you're using more of the left side of the brain while singing uses the right. So that's one that's just different sides of the brain. And also, there is a study performed by Stager, Jeffries and Braun in 2003. They used PET-CT imaging to look at brain activations in people who stutter. So one of the types of tasks that they asked the people who started to do was those that increase or induce fluency of speech. So for example, singing or paced speech using a metronome. So it's like you talk in a rhythmic manner or something. While the other tasks would induce disfluency of speech. So that means like sentence construction and unpaced event narration. And they found that the brain regions that were more significantly active during fluency-inducing tasks compared to disfluent speech tasks included auditory areas that process speech and receive sensory feedback, as well as motor and premotor regions that are involved in articulatory motor actions. So basically, this suggests that there are mechanisms that affect speech fluency. In addition, fluency-inducing tasks produce more robust activation in the left hemisphere of stuttering participants, suggesting compensatory processes that facilitate fluency.
So what does it mean? Like when they practice the fluency task, then it activates one part of the brain?
Okay, so that means that there are specific mechanisms in your brain that affect speech fluency, and therefore maybe people who stutter lack these. And when you do something, like for example, you do something that induces fluency like singing or talking at a regulated pace, can help to increase your speech fluency.
Okay.
Yeah, so certain triggers can be done to help you speak more fluently.
Okay.
And for people who stutter, when they do the fluency-inducing task, they activate more of the left hemisphere. It suggests that there are compensatory processes. That means the brain is trying to, work things out and like try to speak more fluently when they are doing the fluency-inducing task.
Yeah, so it activates part of the brain that is involved in fluency.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, and Amanda also talked about how singing had like certain rhythm and
Pattern recognition.
yeah. So one would think that singing and speaking are both roughly the same, right? You're using your same throat, the same vocal cords, or like, just you would think it's the mouth lah, right, and the throat. But there are actually differences in the way the vocal cords are used and the way the tongue and the mouth are shaped when you are speaking versus singing. And there are also very different activities. So the chairman of the Pacific Voice and Speech Foundation in San Francisco explained that speaking is more of a voluntary action. That means you actively plan, think, react to speech. And communication is often two-way. So you need to plan what to say.
Okay.
However, singing is usually one way. It's like a performance. Lyrics are also memorized beforehand. And singing also uses the voice box in a more continuous manner compared to speaking where there's repeated starting and stopping.
I'm trying to think of a song now, but I can't think of any song for some reason.
Oh, anyway, about the continuous thing while Joy tries to like
Think of a song.
The continuous thing, I think it makes sense because I don't know if y'all have heard about one rule of thumb that people use to like how to differentiate moderate exercise and heavy exercise. In the whole WHO recommendation that you have to have 150 minutes of moderate to what's it called? Vigorous exercise per week. How they define it is like, if you can sing means you're not exercising hard enough.
Yeah, I guess so.
And like, it makes sense for like the continuous thing because it's like you are not really able to take a breath when you are singing versus like when you are talking. So that kind of like makes sense to me.
I don't really get the start stopping, but it's fine.
I guess it's like when you think of a song, usually you are like, the words are all connected. Whereas when you're speaking, there's a lot of pauses or breaks. Yeah, so therefore like if you're someone who stutters, then because you need to continuously start and stop if you're speaking, so that might be more difficult compared to singing where it's continuous.
I don't know if it's because like the words in songs exist within like a very tight limit. Whereas in talking, you can go like in any direction that you want.
Oh yeah.
Whereas in singing, you have to follow this like set path already.
Oh yeah, like the lyrics were memorized.
No, but also like in the case of people reciting poems, it makes it easier for them also, for people who stutter, compared to speaking like a random paragraph, because like maybe there's certain rhythmic flow or there's certain patterns that repeat itself. So yeah, that affects as well. So back to singing versus speaking. Healy, Mellot and Adams in 1976 examined whether singing could reduce stuttering, and if so, whether familiarity with the lyrics played a role in producing such an effect. So participants were asked to read or sing the lyrics of well-known songs with original, which is supposedly familiar, or altered, which is supposedly unfamiliar text. Understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they found that the reduction of stuttering was greater in the singing than the reading condition. Then, the greatest reduction was observed when familiar lyrics were sung.
Right.
So that's the memorizing, or like, you don't need to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so they concluded that the familiarity and then the way like how songs are created and how like the phonation is longer and stuff like that would just help to enhance the fluency when you're singing.
It makes sense, right?
It's just desperately trying to find words that can substitute Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I came up with Massive Massive Giant Cow.
What? But you don't stutter, so it's like, I guess you can also sing massive.
Giant cow. Okay, moving on.
How I wonder.
What you are.
What is a massive cow?
Anyway.
Similar findings were also recorded in a study by Glover et al. In 1996. 12 participants who stuttered were given 4 different passages, and they were asked to read at a normal rate, read faster, sing at a normal rate, or sing it fast. These
like
4 different
4 passages.
Yeah, 4 different passages.
Oh.
And they found that the participants had a 75% reduction in disfluency in the singing condition, but there were no differences in the rate of reading or singing. Therefore, what this suggested was between the reading and the singing, the only variable was the instruction to sing, because it's just a passage, right? So then this suggests that the attempt to follow the instruction, no matter how futile, generated fluent speech.
Wait, so the passage isn't a song? They
No.
made up the song on
it's,
their own?
It's like a random passage, probably a paragraph, but they are asked to sing it.
Like randomly,
Yeah,
based on their own, like.
I guess seems like it, like based on their own idea of singing,
Okay,
to create a song out of it.
yes.
Therefore, it's the instruction to sing it that helps generate more fluent speech.
Oh,
Yeah, that's...
really cool.
Yeah. So it's all in your mind?
Now, I guess you're using like different parts of the brain and then different muscle groups and stuff like that make the difference compared to singing.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's also still the like whole familiarity aspect, and like I can still prepare with this passage because it's already there, right?
Yeah.
So
But
it's
these are 4 different passages, ma.
But I'm sure they
But-
give them time
yeah,
to
to
like
read
read it.
Maybe, I'm
right?
not sure like how. Maybe it's like you have to sing as you read.
like immediately.
Yeah.
But that's...
Rode microphones.
You don't stutter, so it's not going to affect you.
No, but I guess it's possible to just like look at something. and
Yeah.
come
I
up
was
with-
like, I just wanted to know how
Yeah.
possible it is to sing what I see, like,
Yeah.
like straight up.
Okay. Anyway.
Zhao Yong has proved it. I believe this study now.
There's one more interesting thing also is that speaking in a different accent may help people with their stutters as well. So,
Okay.
when you learn a song, usually you would sing it the way it's sung, correct?
Okay.
Like if it's American, you probably sing it with a bit more
Yes,
American
that's what I
tone.
noticed.
Yeah.
Or even like country versus pop, you know?
Oh, yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So then there is some similarity here when you try to imitate an accent. It's a little more like reciting something you already know compared to just purely processing and executing your speech.
Yeah, I can totally see that because there are like some words that can trigger like me to think of like maybe Australian accent. And then like I will think of like where those tones fit in my sentence before I talk so that I can make it sound Australian.
You mean like if you're in Australia?
Yeah, like I guess it's just thinking more when I speak instead of like letting it be.
Yeah, I guess so.
So if you fake an accent, it's easier to speak.
If you have stuttering, I guess so. Not say fake accent, like you copy an accent.
Oh.
You probably can speak a bit more fluently.
Maybe I shouldn't judge people who like try to speak with an accent.
Nope, moving on. What? It's like 1% of people that have stuttering. So all the people that fake an accent have stuttering? No.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's why. It probably makes it easier to understand. But anyway, don't fake it too hard. Like if you're faking an accent, just do it such that it's easier for the other person to understand.
I feel a bit judgy now.
I'm so judgy.
I'm like, okay, if it helps you with your anxiety because you're like in a
That's
foreign
what
country,
I'm
it's
saying.
Fine. Okay. That does sound very judgy.
Are you just gonna sing everything you say now?
If I can think of a melody.
All the best.
But yeah, this research just shows that it's not just singing out something. It's like involving a lot of things like the familiarity of what you're going to say or like the words that you want to come out of your brain. And then like in terms of thinking stuff, you can't just say like, oh, introduce yourself and then you'll be like, I want to sing it out. It's a bit different also because you have to process the words you want to say. So it's a bit different.
That is why I'm pausing so much.
I guess I do struggle with difficult words or unfamiliar topics, but you know when we say things like at the end of the episode when we say our like
Oh, yeah,
last
yeah.
part, like it comes so naturally already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true also. Yeah, and the way the vocal cords move and everything is not just simply asking someone to sing all the time. And I'll end off with the quote of one of the articles. It's crazy to expect someone to alter their speech the entire time they speak. Ha ha ha. That's all.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just another thing that maybe I take for granted,
Yeah.
that is easy for us but not easy for people. So like
Yeah.
to expect them to be able to do this extra thing for something as natural as speaking is unreasonable.
Yeah.
It just takes patience from the person listening. lah.
Yeah, which you
Yeah.
should, right? You should.
And as usual, subscribe.
Maybe this will hypnotize people into subscribing and following us.
Follow us on Spotify as well. I'm done.
Huh?
I can't.
I thought a
it's
like
not-
and a comment.
Yeah, but like because it's now in song, it's like I can't because it's new and it's
Yeah, it's not the
yeah.
rhythmic.
So it's not
the rhythm.
easy. Yeah, it's not easy.
You can
I'm not going to sing it.
you can also follow us on Spotify.
Wait.
Oh no, you can
you
also
see.
follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And feel free to DM us any questions.
I'm not. Alternatively, you can email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com. We'll post the links in the episode description so you can check that out if you're interested. Thanks.
Bye bye.
You can read this from stuff.
Oh yeah,
okay,
you read
okay.
the stuff done.
The secret of change is to force all of your energy.
Why
not
are you
on fun things
stopping?
but on no, because like it's too long. I can only think in jingles. I can't.